How are we going, everybody? Still in the front garden here, and as I mentioned in yesterday's episode, that I'm going to come to this tomato plant and clean it up a little bit, because as the season progresses and the weather warms up, you get a little bit of rain, and as we are now, you can see the clouds are rolling in again, if that's what they call them. Once it starts falling down on our plants and the heat stays there, the humidity rises, and that's the perfect recipe for disaster to occur. We're talking about disease, mildew developing on your plants, septoria leaf spot, rust and things like that, and in particular on the tomatoes, septoria or septoria leaf spot, whichever way you like to pronounce it, can be quite invasive and spreads quite quickly with the rainfall and the humidity. And that's, what we've got to do is try and create more airflow through the plant. And that is by cleaning out a little bit of the base. And you can see in the middle, I haven't touched this plant yet. It's grown to its own accord. Unfortunately, this one snuck out on the outside. I haven't been here to train it. We've got 1, 2, 3 main leaders, a couple of shoots coming up there. As you saw last time, we've got this one here on the outside as well. Well, not last time. The last time I showed you about pruning them is to contain them on the inside. But this one got away from me. And the problem is here, it gets to a certain size where you start looking at the plant and you're thinking, wow, that's grown too much already. I can't prune that. I don't want to prune it. Look at the flowers on it. We've got so many flowers producing on here. Look, here, flowers on here. They're going to set fruit. The plant's going to set fruit continuously. It'll continue to flower. Look at the bunches I've got everywhere. That's just the products that we use here. It's set fruit at the bottom here already. Fantastic. Have we got down below? I haven't even had a look, but we've got all this new growth coming up at the bottom. So we've got the plant growing on top, and it's trying to sport at the base again. And it'll continue to do that. It'll smother this garden bed. Now, if it's only dedicated to a tomato plant, you've got a square meter to allocate. Knock yourself out, walk back, sit down on a couch, look at the plant from afar, bring out the bottles there, the home moonshine, whatever you like doing, and watch it grow overnight, literally with this warm weather, and take over your garden like a zucchini will, or a pumpkin plant will, or a cucumber plant. But I'm trying to contain little spaces that we have, and for people in small courtyards who don't have a lot of room, and you need to do the succession planting, which is plant one this week, as I did. I planted some yesterday in this bed, planting again, and next week I'm going to plant over there. Continuous planting for longer periods of harvest, less reliant on the supermarkets. It is simple as that. I can't explain it any easier than that. And space is not an issue. I am growing a tomato plant, capsicum, zucchini, basil. I'm planting some parsley there. I've got another capsicum over here. I've got some spring onions. I don't know what I'm going to stick in these two corners. I'm going to go inside and have a look and see what I haven't planted and fill these 2 spots out as well. But I need to maintain this. And let's start. So this is a beefsteak. I normally use my pocket pruners, but I took them home. And I'm not going to open another packet just to show you how to use them. They're called pocket pruners. They're really simple for soft leaf, soft tissue cuttings. Nothing for hardwood. These are great, by the way. Don't get me wrong. The lows are top of the range. So what do we got here? We've got a ring bark going on. Let me just cut that off. Look at this. Look at this. Hey, my team here, really. Now these rings here, folks, are great for young seedlings. But do not forget them on your plant, because they will ring bark your plant. Now I've shown you how to do it by hand. See this little plant there? You can pinch that out, literally just pinch it. Like that, just pinch it out. That's a new shoot coming up. All these leaves at the bottom, don't let them sit on the ground. Click up and down if you can, or use your pruners. For example, that I just pinched by hand. That's clicked up. No, that's too flexible, too healthy. Take that away. See that sucker there? Cut that off as well. You don't want these. Now, I'm trying to pull that up, but it's not coming up, so cut it off. Again, you can pinch. A lot of you like pinching them off. What have we got going on here? And look, more suckers. Just pinch that off. It's really soft. That's all I'm doing. I'm going all the way around. I'm just going to cut them. They're too pliable, like that. And I need the airflow down the base. This is a super healthy plant, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to leave it up to chance for it to survive through the warmer months as they come through. And I haven't top dressed this, so just push a bit more around, doesn't need a lot. And remember, these roots, wherever they these stems, wherever it contacts soil, it'll grow new roots, so it becomes bigger and healthier. I haven't done it with these plants, and they're still doing really well. Now, moving up the plant, I'm going to have to change hands here because I've touched soil. We've got suckers coming up here. I don't need that. Cut that off. Sorry, only because I've got the wrong tool to cut here. Now we're going to work our way around to this section here. Look at these leaves overlapping and rubbing. And you don't want to handle the plant too much. The more you handle it, the more likely it's going to get something off your hands. So I just broke that leaf. Snap up, it comes off. Now let's look around. Sucker coming up again, don't need that. Look at this down here. We have some flowers, but they had no sunlight whatsoever there, and they've struggled to actually set fruit. We've got leaves here in the way. Snap, off it comes. Snap, up, down. Now this part here hanging out. One thing I do want to mention here is careful with the wires. And why I say that, this is moving a little bit, this heavy on one side, it will cut into the plant. See that there? See that there? Look at that, just moving it around, I've damaged it. See that black mark there? You've got to be careful with things like that. The plant wants to grow taller. You need to bring the leaf on top. Don't let it cut into it, because the wire itself can cause some damage. So they do need a little bit of attention. It needs to lean on it, not force up against the base of it. Now, if you've got a strong plant and it's pushing along and it's trying to push away from the actual framework, these are great little clips, but again, they'll fit the diameter of my finger, which is pretty much what the tomato stake is, but you want to be careful you don't ring bark it as well. Just a nice little clip like that. It's nice and loose, there's a little bit of room and play in there. Monitor that. I don't need that to grow. Snap it off. I don't need that to grow. Snap it off. If I keep letting these grow, folks, all these growing, wherever the leaf is, if they all grow and turn out to be like this, look at this one here. It's already grown. If that continues growing, I'm in trouble. I'm in strife here. I'm not going to have any room in this place. So I've got to restrict it. Look, you can be crazy. You can allow it to actually grow and hang over the sides. And that's what this one is doing. Come around here and have a look at this. So, decisions. Leaf inside, it's grown out of there, so the main stalk is this. See that? That's a side shoot. That's taken off. Now, I can keep 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut the other side off. And I'm certainly not going to let this multiply like it is at the moment. It's ridiculous. And I'm thinking about trying to lift this one back up. So I'm going to take this leaf off because it's a nuisance in the way. Cut that off. We don't need all the leaves. Wait, look. Another shoot. Here, look at this. There's another shoot already coming up. Already. Vigorous. It won't come off. Just be careful with that. Use the pocket pruners if you can. Cut them off like that. And another shoot here. Again. Constantly growing and sprouting up. This needs to go in here somehow, like that. Push it through actually. And we train it up. I can't get back inside on this side. Look at the problem I have now. Take this leaf off. All right, I'm going to start treating this like I do in the garden without the cameras, all right? Don't freak out. This is what I do at home. So I need to remove these shoots. There's another shoot here. All right, we're feeding it in, pushing it through. Or we might end up just cutting it off, folks. Because I end up doing more harm to it than it's worth. There, like that. And just a clip around it like that. That'll keep it in place. I might have to put a second one down here, but I don't want to touch the flowers. I don't like that. Not happy. This should have been pushed back inside earlier on. We did it, folks. We snuck it in there, got it back inside, but I'm cutting this other little one off the side shoot. I don't want it. I know it's got flowers on it, but it's too congested in there for me. Get out of there. That's it. This one's back inside. Get this back in the ground. Get these leaves through. You don't have to be this precious with it. I'm just being that because I want to show you a nice clean result, if I can. That needs to clip onto here somehow. Get that leaf on that side. You know, normally you just let the tomatoes do their own thing and they'll run their own race. But as I said earlier, we've got a plant here that needs a bit more care because we don't have the space. After some careful consideration, folks, I've resorted to using the jolly type because The clips are great if you're using it against the string as it's growing up, just to keep it attached to the string. But here I needed to stop it from sliding up and down, and these clips will do more damage to the plant than what they're worth in holding it together. So I'm going to take them off. And when I do tie them, I do a figure 8 like that, see that? Crossover. And then I tie it to the actual plant. So I don't go straight onto it, hard up like that. Do a figure 8 underneath it, and then just tie it to it nice and soft like that. Okay, and now I can take this clip off and stop it from digging into the plant like that. And I think the last one, this will sit up straight on its own, but I'm going to help it a little bit, because why it's leaning over, it's because it was sitting down here growing upwards, and now that I lifted it up, it's coming back down. That will automatically straighten up on its own, but I don't want it to do this. I don't want it to grow here, then grow out here like that. I want it to actually start straightening up from down below here. So we tie it just below the leaf. One careful knot like that, nothing too tight, and then we bring it up straight there like that. Right, and when you tie it up here, just do a loop, pull it through. It's easy to release once you're finished with it. And that's all you need to do. There you go. That's come up a lot better. Nice and clean. I've got one more to take off. I don't know, maybe I can keep this one. What do you reckon? I'll let it go for now. It's not in anybody's way, no harm way. Folks, start training your tomatoes, get your extra planting in under the ground. It doesn't mean you plant all at once. Succession planting, so important to factor that into your life. Like I said, unless you're gonna harvest 100 tomatoes, 100 tomato plants or 1,000 tomatoes at once to make sauce, and you don't need that many in one go, plant them out a little bit each week and have a longer season of harvesting. And better for you, better for everyone. And if you do have too many, share it with your family and friends. After all, that's what it's all about. Caring and sharing and enjoying some healthy produce in your tummy. Get your garden mix or a planting mix as we have here. These wire frames and the tomato pegs are online, and our super special, which is 20% off coupon code, is gonna end soon. Take advantage of the great specials at Vasili'sGarden.com and come and say hello if you're watching this as we just uploaded, because I'll be at the garden centre to help you all. From me, Vasili, Maresi.